Now, I know most of the time when I do these little videos on YouTube, I'm talking about something political or something that's relevant to what we're doing today, and today I'm not. Today I picked up these little books. I've had them for years and years and years. These are translations of Homer's Odyssey by Alexander Pope. He did two translations, one of the Odyssey, one of the Iliad. I think the Iliad was the first, and he self-published, and he was rather brilliant. And he was worried that at the time the copyright laws weren't very good, and people were stealing his poetry and making a mint, and he was getting almost nothing out of it. It was a bit like the music industry today. Or indeed residuals on TV programs. I was reading about Joan Collins and the way she was diddled out of residuals for Dynasty. But yeah, you know, so it's an age-old problem. Anyway, he did this self-publishing, and I've got some of the original volumes. I'm really grateful. I was given these when I was in Oxford, and by a very good friend. And they're brilliant. And Pope always, it's always worth reading Pope. He's one of those poets that sometimes people don't know about him. He lived in Twickenham, and if you haven't been to Pope's house, you should. He was obsessed with gardening. He was obsessed with good humour, and also some of the greatest phrases that we use routinely are his. I think of fools rush in where angels fear to tread. Well, you know, if I'd paid attention to that, I certainly wouldn't have got involved in reality TV. I see myself very much as a fool, and I pride myself on that. I think as a fool, one's constantly learning. I also think there's value in the ephemeral, in things which are passing. The ephemeral is important. The trivial is important. In fact, there's another really good Pope quotation. What mighty contest rise from trivial things? That's from The Rape of the Lock. And you can look at the internet, and you can look at all that ghastliness on Twitter. All their honour in a whisper lost. Pope was there. He could be a voice for our own age. And he is the person who puts good humour above everything else. Good humour can prevail when airs and flights fail. Good humour, proportion, sense, smiling. Keeping good humour still, whate'er we lose. And also his moral compass was so great. His understanding of satire, he's up there with Hislop. But he's up there with Hislop with with an almost religious sense of what is right. Love the offender, but detest the offence. I'm not sure I can always do that, but I'm really proud that when we took the Greek government to court over the whole issue of torture and their attempt to cover up the torture, I have retained friends at the highest levels of Greek society, and I'm so proud of that achievement alone. I'm not that proud of the court case, and I'm not that proud actually of the judgment, because none of it is actually fully worked. We're still expecting the Greek government to enforce the laws that it said it would enforce, and after I don't know, 20 odd years, it still hasn't done that. But you know, we've made an effort. And what was the other thing about Alexander Pope is he was so aware that we are all part of what Disney would probably call the circle of life. We're all but part of one stupendous whole. And this is why friendship, this is why good humour, this is why smiling in the face of adversity, this is why these virtues are so important. And Alexander Pope, if you haven't come across Alexander Pope, this is the book for the age. This is the poet, this is the writer for today. In fact, I've got a mind to go off into my little cupboard and record an audio book of The Rape of the Lock, which I think speaks to the age of Twitter, the age of Instagram. It's a book about rumour and about deceit and about the way in which somebody's honour can be so besmirched simply by a word and by something which is casual and actually not very important. Today we are in an age where we can destroy somebody with a single misplaced word. And there are people, there are institutions, often called PR firms. I mean, can you think of anything more ridiculous? A, to name somebody, to name an entire institution with an acronym, and B, to think public relations, to define something as a relationship when all it really does is destroy and peddle deceit. This is our age. And these people who know absolutely nothing, who have no talent at all, are so much in control of our lives. This is hugely regrettable. Anyway, Alexander Pope, if you want real satire, if you want real dignity, if you want real hope, it's all in Alexander Pope. So there we are. Do follow my site and do ring the bell. I'll try and do something a little bit more a little bit more ad rem, a little bit more modern later on today. But for the moment, just rejoice in the past and this wonderful, wonderful, wonderful man. Bye bye.